This video introduces the ISL control panel at CQ University. Topics covered are listed here. The control panel will turn on automatically as you enter an ISL space. Control panels in the three types of ISL space are almost identical. The control panel consists of buttons to select a presentation source, the presentation window showing content being presented, the communication window showing output from the two room cameras, and in a video conference, conference participants, tabs to connect to a self-serve video conference, control the two room cameras, and in a video conference, control your view of the conference. More on that in a moment. The control panel also enables the presenter to control room speakers, mute or change the audio level in the room, control presenter microphones, mute or change the level of amplification of presenter microphones, control audience microphones, mute or change the level of amplification of audience microphones, and an area to control an Echo 360 recording. Classic ISL spaces may also have a button to control room lights. Presentation sources are the room computer, your device connected to the BYOD HDMI cable, the document camera, or a mobile device using AirPlay. Turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, select AirPlay on your device, select the room you are using, turn on mirroring, and enter the code that appears on the control panel. AirPlay is a new service. It is essential that you test any presentation of content over AirPlay. In particular, playing video over AirPlay can be problematic. To stop presenting, turn off mirroring. To prepare for a video conference or recording, you may wish to set up the room cameras. ISL spaces have two cameras, the presenter camera and the audience camera. Only one of those two cameras is active at any given time. Output from the active camera appears in the communication window, is captured during a video recording, and, in a video conference, provides a view of the local room to conference participants. A camera is activated by simply touching its tab. The presenter camera tab provides 3 standard presets and 3 user presets. User presets enable the presenter to prepare camera shots for a presentation. Camera setups are saved by pressing and holding a preset button. The audience camera tab provides 6 user presets. The ISL control panel starts in local presentation mode. In local presentation mode, presentation content appears on both displays in an ISL space. ISL spaces support 2 other modes: conference audience when first joining a video conference, and conference presentation when presenting to a video conference. Scheduled video conferences start automatically. No action is required by the presenter. ISL spaces also support self-serve video conferencing. On the video conference tab, type the virtual room number or conference ID and press call. Advanced calling options are available, but ISL spaces can only call one endpoint. Use of virtual room numbers is recommended for self-serve video conferencing. When connected to a conference, 2 tabs are added to the communication window. The Conference tab enables the presenter to view the conference. The Self-View tab enables the presenter to view output from the active camera, that is, the view of the room seen by conference participants. And a Conference Layout tab is added, enabling the presenter to control the local view of the conference. The conference view shown in the communication window is the same view shown in the room. The default conference layout is the Brady Bunch. That layout shows up to 6 conference endpoints at one time. The endpoint with the participant who last spoke appears in the large window at top left. The default layout can be changed through the Conference Layout tab. Viewing one endpoint at a time may be useful at the start of a conference. The presenter can then cycle through conference endpoints. The conference can be viewed full screen by touching the communication window. Conference layout controls are available in full screen mode. Remember to speak to the camera when communicating with conference participants. Touch the screen again to exit full screen mode. The Show Self View button adds a self view window to the conference layout. When communicating with conference participants, check that presenter mics are not muted. To invite input from the local audience, open Audience Mics. To present to a conference, simply select a presentation source. The control panel will switch from Conference Audience mode to Conference Presentation mode. Another endpoint can become the presenter by simply selecting a presentation source at that end. In a classic ISL space, presentation content always appears on the large display. To stop presenting to a conference, touch Stop Presenting. That will switch the room back into Conference Audience mode. When no endpoint is presenting to a conference, the conference will appear on the large display in a classic ISL space. The smaller display will show the self view. In a new ISL space, all displays are large. If an Echo 360 recording is scheduled, 5 minutes before the start, a message will appear on the control panel. When recording, the red recording light in the room is illuminated. The presenter and presentation title appear on the control panel, and a progress bar is provided for the recording. The presenter can pause the recording at any time. When paused, the red recording light in the room will flash. To continue recording, simply touch Resume. Echo 360 records 2 channels. The presentation or display channel, taken from the presentation window, and the presenter or video channel, taken from the active camera. When content is being presented from a remote participant, the content being presented appears in the presentation window and is recorded. Also, the voice of the presenter is recorded, but an image of the presenter is not recorded. The presenter channel always records output from the local active camera, seen in the Self View tab during a video conference. Any presentation that is being recorded can be broadcast live over the internet or webcast. Webcast viewers see the 2 channels being recorded. Webcast viewers also get a text chat window to ask questions. The presenter can respond to questions in real time. To finish a recording early, simply touch Pause. When you have finished using the control panel, simply exit the room. The control panel will automatically go into Power Save mode. We hope you enjoy using the control panel in a CQ University ISL space.